right, guys. I got a sample from somebody, and we need to figure out what this is. Let's get into it. All right. Thank you guys for coming back. So I know who gave me this sample. You got to do the little clicky thing in the beginning. This sample was given to me from Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. And I had a single barrel of Mountain Creek, and I purchased one, and he sent over this sample in a little Ziplocky, like we do. And that's the cool thing about the bourbon community, the whiskey community in general, is we want people to try cool stuff. And I will have his links and his picture and stuff like that. Editing me is going to have a field day with this one. So I poured a little bit of this sample in a glass. I put it in the Certified Texas Whiskey glass. I can almost guarantee you it's not Certified Texas Whiskey, but let's get into it and figure out what we're looking at. I am going to guess, even before smelling it, that it's a bourbon, but we'll see. And I will try. So after this, I'm going to message him and be like, hey, what was that blind? I just did a video on it, blah, blah, blah. And I will try to have the notes on it somewhere, either here or at the end. So you guys know, I love doing blinds. Obviously, I suck at them because I did not win the Freedom Malts blind challenge. I'm still a little bitter about it. Not gonna lie, I'm the whiskey dude and I'm supposed to know that stuff. But anyway, today's been a good day. We are doing some stuff, outside. Try not to work too hard because we got a long work week. It's just one of those things. So let's get into it. So it smells very rye. It smells like it has a lot of rye in it. And the rye presents really nice. It's a little floral. It's not dill though. So I don't think it's a 95.5. And this is just really fun. And if you guys don't like this kind of content, I understand. It's not one of those things that everybody likes. And that's fine. But to me, this is really cool because I have no idea what this is. I know it's a whiskey. I don't even know if it's whiskey. I'm guessing it's a whiskey. It smells like a rye whiskey, so I'm going to give it that. Sorry, my hair is like mushled up today because it's growing back. If you guys don't know, I went through a little issue, and now we're coming back. The beard's coming in real thick, which I'm loving. But my wife says, and I'll get you guys' thoughts on this. My wife says she wants to keep it nice and tight, keep it clean. Because I used to have a little shaman guy that's on the screen. I used to have a pretty long beard and long hair. She wants me to keep it trimmed up. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Very rye forward. I don't know if it's a rye or a bourbon yet, but I will, once we get into it, this is not the first whiskey of the day, so I'm not going into it blind. That is a rye. I'm not. All of these things are up to, how do you say it? They're up to suggestion. That's the first initial hit of it. It's not soapy, but it's almost like I'm going to have another drink. I'm going to have a drink of water and then have another drink. It's not super proofy, but maybe that burn from what I think is the rye could be from proof as well. So let me get a drink of water. I always carry my trusty. Okay. So if you guys are liking this type of content, please make sure you follow, subscribe, do all the things. It helps the algorithm. Please, and leave a comment down below. Good, bad, ugly, I don't care. Leave a comment down below. And if you need to get a hold of me, if you want me to do any special samples or anything like that, let me know. WhiskeyShamanPodcast@gmail.com. And I want to thank the sponsors. Let's get that one off. I want to thank the sponsors, Bad Motivator Barrels and Z Smith Whiskey and Mixology, for supporting this channel. I appreciate you guys, and please, there will be pinned links down below. And if you want to help me out monetarily, and you want to buy me a bottle, you recently bought me a bottle for a podcast I just did. If you were on the Patreon, patreon.com/thewhiskeyshaman. If that's something that you want to do, it is a monetary investment, but at the same time, you get a lot of perks for doing that. And there's a bunch of different tiers that you can pick from. So if that's something worthwhile, hey, go over there and check it out. That's enough of that. All right, let's get back into it. We drank some water. To me, it's very rye. I'm letting this sit in the mouth for a minute. Whoa. It comes in with this taste, and I can't tell you what that taste is. Like, it's almost, and this is not a bad note, it's almost aloe vera taste. And I've said this a lot about rye whiskeys in the past. When you go into a Pier 1 imports, which they're closing down, obviously, they're knocking all the Pier 1 imports. So this is old old man tasting notes, if you want to call it that. You go into a Pier 1 Imports, and they have these bowls, right? And they have potpourri in them. But there's this circular ball of, like, I don't even know what it is, but it smells like a cross between cinnamon and eucalyptus or something weird, but it's also musty at the same time and wicker. It's all of those put together in that little ball. Because when I was a kid, my mom always went into the Pier 1 because we were trying to buy stuff we couldn't afford. That's poor kid life, right? We would go in there and I would smell. It was just so many smells because they had those papasan chairs and like all the things that just smelled. They just smelled weird. Linen and all the things. Like I would go and I would smell those balls. And that's going to be all over the internet. Great. I would smell those potpourri, whatever they are. And that's what it reminds me of. I have to go back in because I want to smell that, or I want to taste the smell. And that's the weird thing when you're tasting whiskey in general. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it. Let me get into it again. It's not soapy, but it edges on soapy. Have you ever been like washing your hair and some of the soap gets in your mouth and it's not like oil or something like that. It's more of like a fruity type soap. That's not. I don't think it's saponification. I just think it's the rye presenting as a little soapy, but it's also wicker and all of eucalyptus and all of those things. So here's my final thoughts, and you guys will know up here or whatever. Here's my final thoughts. It is a rye whiskey. Don't know the mash bill. I'm going to say at least 51%. No, I'm going to say 65% rye. Because I do get a little corn in there, but not a whole lot. It is 110 proof. It's not finished. There's nothing finished about it. Distillery, now that it's lingering on my palate, it does have a little Jim Beam dusty note to it, like that. But I'm going to say that it's a craft. It's a craft whiskey. I don't know the distillery. Man, could be Beam. But I don't know the distillery. I'm thinking it's either Jim Beam because it does present as that note that I get with a lot of Beam products. I have a Knob Creek single barrel rye in the house that tastes very similar to this. It's not as wicker as this, so I'm wondering if it is craft. You guys will know, and I appreciate it. Anyway, Echoes in Eternity. I can't praise you enough. It's amazing. I will enjoy the rest of this sample. It was really fun, and I appreciate it, and I thank you all for sticking with me and hanging out with me. If you like this sort of stuff, let me know. If you don't, let me know. One of the two. I like to do reviews and stuff, but I want my content to be a little bit different. I don't want it all to be reviews about whiskey. There's a bunch of reviews out there, and I don't want it to be about that. I do like to do blind samples and stuff like that, which makes it a little different. I'm smelling the empty glass now. A little Parmesan cheese. I said it. There's nothing left. There's literally a dribble. But it still comes across as very rye, 110 proof for sure. It's not super low, but it's not like 125 or something like that. I don't know. I can't choose between Beam or craft, which I guess is good for the craft guy if it is a craft guy because it can taste like Jim Beam, so similar to Jim Beam. All right. Love you guys. Y'all be good. Drink responsibly, drink respectfully. I say respectfully because it's like you get in certain situations in life to where maybe you've had 2 or 3 or 4 drinks, and that's not being respectful to the people that you're around. And I'm not being a prude or anything like that. Drink your whiskey the way you want to drink it. I don't care. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people, and I'm not talking about anybody who's watching this, I feel like a lot of people, they take it to extreme. You know what I mean? And they pound them down. And that's not what whiskey's really for. It's what it's for. That's why they call it a shot of whiskey. It's one of those things. But at the same time, drinking respectfully means you're respecting other people around you and you're not getting belligerent. Whereas drinking responsibly means you're going to be driving. You have to do a thing in the morning. You're responsible with your own body. Respectfully is you're responsible with other people. If that makes sense. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And until next time, keep your spirits up.